excited to have you here for this. This came to me over the weekend as I was laying in bed after having my COVID shot. I was so sleepy, but I want to share this with you. And what I'm talking about today is how to call in the highest caliber of clients, the highest level of clients, how to be, I don't want to say attractive because it's not really about attracting, but it's about weeding through all the noise that's out there and making sure that your highest level people who you can serve the best show up in your world and become your clients. And so I was thinking about this question that I get asked very, very often. People come to me and they're like, Shamika, how do I attract my ideal clients? Where do I find them? Where are they hanging out at? And I'm always like, they're all around you. And people also ask me, like, how do you create this level of community where you have this high caliber type of clientele, people who trust you, who follow your instructions, do the work that you ask them to do, and aren't afraid to invest? And what I want to share with you is that I get that for me, that's a big freaking deal, considering I have a fairly small list and not very many followers by the standards, like by influencer standards, industry standards, right? Across social media platforms. Yet I've been able to grow my business revenue to over $1 million using social media and Messenger, social media, live streaming, and Messenger, pretty much. And over the past year, without live events or without being able to go in person to people, that's literally all I did to create over $1.6 million in revenue in 2020. So today I want to share a few things, but the main thing I want to share is this. And I want you to lean in because I don't know, you may have heard some of this stuff, but I want you to look at it in a different light because it really boils down to a few things. And so the main thing that I want to share is the reason why I'm able to do that. I was actually just on a call with someone and just sharing some of my stats because they're going to be coming onto my team and supporting me with some stuff. And they were like, wow, that's incredible. And I don't think about it because those numbers are normal. And I'm going to share some of those numbers with you a little bit later. But what I understand is that the reason why I'm able to do those types of high conversion numbers with small numbers of people is because the audience that I do have is highly engaged and tuned in. They're in tune. They are dialed in and they are listening. They are connected from a heart space, from a soul space, not just from a excitement space. So what I want you to hear is this. It's not that you just want to have an amazingly large hyper audience. You want the right people watching your lives. You want the right people engaged in your post. You want the right people in your Facebook groups or at your event, whether it's live or virtual. I have seen folks with over 1,000 people on their live videos. No conversions. They may come to me and say, how do I turn that into sales? They have no sales. I've seen people do challenges with hundreds of people and make little to no money. And I can do a challenge with 40 people and make 6 figures. I've seen people do live events, whether they're virtual or in person, and have 300 plus people there, and they barely make 6 figures if they make that. My live event last year had 125 people in attendance, 122 when I made my offer, and we made over $750,000. Why is that? What I want you to hear again is it's not just about having people. It's not just about having a list or having followers. You want the right people. Big numbers, they're cool. They're nice. But having a lot of people clapping for you and around you doesn't necessarily mean that those are your people that they're going to buy from you. I have a shirt that I wear sometimes. You might have seen it. It says commas over comments. We say that in my community all the time. I'm trying to convert clients so that I can make an impact in the world and make money, right? An impact in my bank account, an impact in the world, an impact on my legacy, right? And the ripple effect. I'm not trying to get comments and engagements. And so I want to share with you some things today about how we do this, what we focus on, right? Having a few hundred of the right people is far better. It's way better and more powerfully effective than having 5,000 of any people. You could have a Facebook group that has thousands of people in it, but yet you're making no conversions. And so what I want to share is kind of like the linchpin for that. Okay. Here are a few things. These are a few things that you can do right now to make sure that you attract only your ideal clients. And I want you to hear me when I say ideal. I'm talking about the highest caliber, highest level clients, not some avatar you created. See, we've turned ideal client into this thing that's like a worksheet that you filled out. I have my ideal client avatar. That's not what I mean when I say ideal client. I'm talking about clients that just you vibe with. You can be yourself. You don't have to show up as something that you're not. You can rock some crazy looking glasses like this and they're not like, oh, well, she's not serious enough. All of those things. You want your ideal clients that they get you, they listen, they trust, and they're willing to invest. Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 things today. I know I was going to give you like 3, and then they just kept coming because I'm like, okay, these are important too. And I just want to share them all. It's going to be really quick though. So the first thing that you can do in order to call in your highest level clients, the highest caliber clients, is you can tweak your messaging to speak only to those ideal clients. Now I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. Because I see messaging all the time and I'm like, what are they even talking about? Because it's so high level. It's so like, it's for anybody. You're like, you want to help, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or leave anybody out. And so what happens is that your messaging doesn't draw in those ideal clients. We call them power clients in my community. So ideal clients in my community are called power clients, right? And this is how you create power clients. You tweak your messaging to speak only to them, not to anyone else. So here's my thing. When I talk about the plight of the high achiever when it comes to next level success. And then my people perk up because I'm speaking to the things they barely whisper to themselves when they're alone, let alone say it out loud. So they know that I get them. They know that I get them. So you want to tweak your messaging so that those people you can serve the best, when they hear you, they're like, oh my freaking God, she's talking to me. He's talking to me. I was just thinking that the other day. So start thinking like, where can I show up in a way that this message is not for everybody? It's just for these particular people. I'm going to give you some more examples. The second thing that you want to do is actively create content that actually repels people that aren't your ideal clients. So I'm going to give you another example about this. So we're tweaking messaging, and you'll know if you go through my personal Facebook page, you can see how my messaging speaks to a high achiever. It speaks to an achieving person, a person that's achievement focused, a person that loves success, a person that's kind of driven, right? Who's very active, all of those things. My clients are people who will jump out of planes, all kinds of stuff, right? So the second one is create content that repels people who aren't your ideal clients. So here's an example. Like I was just talking about, my clients are pretty freaking competitive. Even if they don't say it out loud, they've been competitors, whether they've played sports or done oratorical contests or speech and debate, all kinds of things. They're pretty freaking competitive, and they'll be competitive at pretty much anything. They are achievement focused. So what I do inside of my communities and in my marketing and in my messaging is I celebrate their wins, and I talk about money a lot. And anyone who is not for that, who's not about that life, basically can safely assume that I'm not the right mentor for them. And it happens. People are like, why do you always talk about how much money you make and they make, and there's lots of other things to achieve? It's actually a freaking filter, people. I'm doing it on purpose. Because the people who are my ideal clients, those are the things that drive them. They are driven by that achievement of their next level goal. The ones who are not my ideal clients. Okay. The third thing that you can do is you can check your representative at the door. You're like, Shamika, what the heck is a representative? So Chris Rock years ago had this comedy skit or sketch or whatever you call it, where he said, when you meet somebody for the first time, you're not meeting them. You're meeting your representative. So if you think about this, if you've ever dated before, you date a guy and he's like opening doors, he's making up his bed, he's cleaning the whole house, he's walking with you, doing all kinds of stuff. Get 6 months into it, a year into it, 2 years into it, and you're like, where'd that guy go? Right? Some of you guys have representatives in your marketing. Like, you show up how you think people want you to show up to buy from you. You code switch, you up level, you up your voice to your professional voice. You look differently, you dress differently because you believe that that's going to be attractive to the highest caliber clients, or let me do this in air quotes, the clients who have money. And that's not true. What's going to be most attractive to your ideal clients or your power clients is going to be you. There is a frequency that you emit when you are being 100% who God created you to be. That is, like, I say this all the time, it's like a dog whistle to those people you are meant to serve. They're like, ooh, what's that sound? They're like, who is that? They're like, who's that lady? I couldn't resist. Right? They're like, who is this? I need to hear more. I must connect. I always tell people, and I know this is true, my ideal clients know I am their person. They don't know what program they may need to be in, but when they hear me, they're like, I need to connect more. The same is true for you, but it doesn't work if you send your representative, because your representative is not emitting that same frequency. And so those people that would invest at high levels with you, those people who would be your best clients, who won't give you headaches, who won't make you feel like you want to kick them out of your programs, are like, oh my gosh, why did I take these people? They keep walking past you because they don't recognize you, boo. So you got to check your representative at the door. You know, you're saying what you think they want you to say. You're pretending to care about things you don't care about because everybody else is talking about it. So you think you need to talk about it too, or you need to show up in that way too. You're code switching and using your business voice. Check your representative at the door. Right? In other words, make it clear, crystal clear, what you stand for and what you stand against. Make it crystal clear what you love and what you hate. Make it crystal clear who you be and who you don't be. Right? There's a bunch of other things that you can do to call in your ideal clients, but the biggest thing is this. Power players, which is what I call people in my community when they step into this level of being that I'm talking about right now, is they be before they do. You become before you're in the action of the thing. And one thing you must be in order to call in your ideal clients is in full ownership of your power, your authority, who you be. Forget what everybody else thinks, right? You got to stand in your power. So that leads me to a couple of the last two things I want to share with you about this. Okay. Your current identity, how you see yourself right now in this moment, is creating the reality that you currently have. I'm going to say that again. How you see yourself right now is currently creating the reality that you currently have. It's creating it right now, right? If you see yourself as behind, or you don't see yourself as an influencer, or whatever the thing you put on yourself about who you are right now, I always tell my clients, please don't show up as one of the best or an option that people could choose in your industry. You need to show up as the only choice. The only. That's how we show up. Right? That's the flick of the switch you see from people when they start working with me. They get this certainty in about their identity, their self-identity. How you see yourself has the most profound influence over your success, because you will never out-earn your self-worth nor outperform who you believe yourself to be. Your current identity and how you see yourself is creating your current reality and the results that you have right now. Now, here's the thing. This is a source of power for you. When you plug into that source of power of seeing your identity, of certainty, of confidence, of the only, then you can create clients and results at will. Boom, 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 right? And standing in that power will cause you to raise your standards. Remember, this is about how we create high caliber clients, right? We want to become attractive to them. This is how we do it. But then this final thing, the final linchpin in this whole thing is it causes you to raise your standards. And what you begin to do, to the degree that you no longer even pay attention to people who are non-ideal clients or not power clients, is you begin to say no to non-ideal clients with an absolute trust and certainty that the ideal client was on the way. I had a client post in our group the other day. We do this all the time. We literally celebrate turning people down. She turned down a $15,000 sale. We turn down money all the time. Non-ideal clients, I trust that what I desire, the standard that I desire to play at, with the type of clients that I desire to play with in this container, and the containers and spaces that I create, is available. I have no problem saying no. I have no problems refunding money of people who, if I find out very quickly, even if their sale was today, they're out of alignment with the beliefs and standards and virtues that I have inside of my community, you can have your money back, boo. I'll be like, refund right away. No, because I understand this principle, right? And what happens is you get tested. So this used to always be told to me in church. They're like, when you make a decision, you get a counterfeit test first to see if what you say you want is what you really want, right? I believe this happens when you raise your standards with your clients. You're like, no, I only want people who operate at this level. I only want this type of client. And then the next day you get a sales call booked with somebody who doesn't quite fit that, but they're willing to pay you. That's actually a test. And what happens is if you say yes to what you really want to say no to because you're operating out of desperation, neediness, or whatever you want to call it, you basically send a signal that says, I'm still available for this crap. I'm still available for people who don't show up and do the work. I'm still available for this level of client. And you just start complaining like, well, why do only these people who do these things show up? Because that's what you allow, boo. Trust and believe. The moment you say no, it's so funny how it happens. It's like, boom, the right thing shows up. Next thing, instead of taking a $15,000 client, you got a $30,000 client paid in full, right? A $15,000 client on a payment plan, you got a $30,000 client for the same program paid in full. I've seen it happen. I'm a living witness over and over and over again. So you must raise your standards and have the courage, the confidence, and the certainty to say no. And you won't have that courage, confidence, and certainty to say no as long as you're driven by desperation and the addiction of checking off lists and doing and driving and just making sure you have, any client, right? And you'll continually be a magnet to the types of clients you no longer wish to serve, support, train, and mentor. So raise your standards and start saying no. No to your non-ideal clients. No to people and situations that have you settling. No to behaviors and beliefs that show up again and again that don't serve the future goals of future you. No to anything that isn't in alignment with the $1 million version of who you be, with the dynasty that you're trying to create, with the wealth code you're trying to recode for your family for future generations. Listen. I want to share this with you because the whole crux of this creating high caliber clients thing is this. It's not funnels. It's not webinars and what to say in your post. It's this piece that I've been sharing with you today. I didn't just wake up one day and decide to have $1 million month or decide to have multiple 100K months every single month. I am deliberate. I am strategic and I am intentional in the way that I show up. And it is why I am impactful to the degree that I am, even with a small following. My content is never like so planned out in advance that I'm not like I'm not anal with it. I don't work 24/7. And neither do I teach my clients to do the same thing. But there is a strategy that I use with my content that allows me to call in the highest caliber of clients and large sums of money like what I just talked about today, right? Think about it. I want you to think about it, okay? For the last few years, I've been teaching people how to become the type of woman, become the type of man who creates six-figure months. And I've been teaching them the simple system to create it. Simple. I want to share something with you. I shared some of the numbers earlier, right? I could have a masterclass with 40 people on it or a webinar with 40 people on it. and make $40,000, right? And convert at 25, 30%. Like I said, my live event had 125 people in the room all 3 days. We made over $750,000 because this matters more than numbers. Who you be and how you show up in your messaging matters more than the numbers. So the strategy that I have used to create all of this success and show my clients how to do the same thing, I teach inside of a program called Supernova Sales School. If you already know that it's calling to you, you can go to WeSlaySales.com, and that's where you can sign up for Supernova Sales School, okay? I want to give you another opportunity though, okay? Now, Sales School is for any expert, coach, or consultant who's in any stage of business, whether you're making your first $2,000 or your first $200,000, your first $20,000 or your first $2 million. If you desire to raise your conversion rates and your confidence when it comes to selling and creating clients and your ability to get more paying clients fast, Sales School is where you learn how to do it. It's where you master lead generation and sales. That's what we do, right? The content and messaging strategy that I teach inside of Supernova Sales Schools that we teach, my team and I teach inside of Sales School, is responsible for over $2 million in sales personally in my own business in the last 18 months and $1 million more for my clients who are all part of my programs. Okay. So here is the opportunity that I want to give you. For those of you who are not quite sure, and you're not sure if maybe messaging is your problem, or you really do need to find this elusive place where your ideal clients and your power clients hang out, but you know you want to create more clients faster, I want you to type upgrade me. And here's what typing upgrade me will get you. It will give you the opportunity to chat with me. I will reach out to you in Messenger and we will do a messaging upgrade audit for you. Okay. What I'm going to do is look at your content, audit your content, and then share with you what the things that I think that you could be doing in order to increase your conversions with your content. Like, this is something I do day in and day out, know this stuff like the back of my hand, and it works like a well-oiled machine. Okay. So if you type upgrade me, I'll reach out to you, we'll connect, and then we'll take it from there. For those of you guys who know Sales School is where you would like to be, all the information that you need on Sales School is there at WeSlaySales.com. We're still in a time where the internet allows us to connect with people in powerful ways. The thing is, you got to do you. You got to show up powerfully. You got to be direct with people. I mean, okay, let me not say you got to be direct. I'm a direct person, so I'm direct with people. But that's what I mean by you got to do you. When you show up in this way, you become powerfully attractive. So it's okay if you have 30 people watching you live or 20 people watching you live. You can still make money from that. Right? You can still make money from that. My clients are selling $30,000, $40,000 offers. I think the highest client that I have right now is a $40K offer. No, I have a client that just sold a $153,000 offer. So I lied about that. From social media, from showing up on social media and in the way that I'm talking about today. And we teach you step by step how to do that in your own way in Sales School. Okay. All right. That's it. Sales School, WeSlaySales.com. You want the upgrade? You want to do the messaging upgrade session with me? I have time on my calendar, which I don't usually have. So type upgrade me and I will connect with you on that. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Mwah. See you soon. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment, like right now. I'm not gonna stop talking until you leave a comment. Seriously, leave a comment.